power of you controlling your breathing right now. Feel the power of you enjoying your greatest gift right now. That's you. That's your presence. That's your greatest power. Your power to determine to stay in the present, in the now, and be your true great being that you are. No matter what. In this present moment, everything is here you need right now. So let's see ourselves today doing the best we can in the gym of life. Here we are again. Controlling our minds. Controlling our breathing. One great thought at a time. One great breath at a time. So see yourself doing your best on all the exercises we do today together, here and now. That's your determination, your greatest power, power that's the same in you and every human being on the planet.
Magic System, Red One, Shawty. Hey, yo, Salvatore. Feel the magic Comme d'habitude, on est calé. Ça va aller. On te met l'ambiance à gogo. Tous ensemble on fait le show.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis, c'est bien faire la folie.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. Oh, 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 oh. C'est pas seulement pour les bobos. Nous on vient dans nos mambo. Mon ami, si tu as le niveau, rejoins-nous pour t'enjailler.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis, et viens faire la folie.
On t'invite à la magie, y a pas de raccourci. Oublie tes soucis. Oh, 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 oh. Magic System.
Toujours nous.
Ah, ça change pas.
Ah ouais.
Ah, Shawty avec Red One. Est-ce que ça marche? Ça va pas. On vient du ghetto pour aller plus
Como ha corrido ahora para Alves. Alves centra, el remate de Messi, gol, 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 gol.
Morning, guys. There's an old African proverb that goes like this: if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. And I've heard Les Brown often refer to it in his speeches, and it's stuck with me. It's become part of me. It's my daily reminder to monitor what is going on in my mind. What do I think about myself? And now I'm challenging you to ask yourself daily, what are the thoughts that are going on in your mind about yourself? What do you think about yourself? If you are happy with yourself, that's wonderful, because it's going to affect the amount of positive influence that you have around you. But if you're not happy with yourself, then how can you possibly admit and be the best part of you with others? So let's really monitor what's going on within. If we can come to peace with ourselves, then we can actually be our true great selves for everyone else. Hope this helps, everyone. Have a great day.
We are going to be chatting about finding purpose through getting loved up. And yes, my company is Get Loved Up, and that's love yourself, love others, love the world, in that order. It's no wonder a lot of people feel out of purpose, or like they lost their purpose through the pandemic, because we didn't know what was happening. We were uncertain. A lot of us felt like a lot of us lost our jobs, lost family members. So everything was all over the place. So it's normal that people felt like they lost their center. And so I'm going to take you through a journey of finding your purpose to getting loved up. And I'm going to do that through one of my favorite systems that I studied during my yoga teacher training, and that I teach in my yoga teacher training school, which is through the chakras. And the chakras are just natural wheels of energy in our body. I also call them spiritual energy centers, and you feel them even if you haven't heard of them before. It's that lump in your throat when you want to say something, but you don't know what to say. It's that queasy feeling you feel in your stomach when you're a little bit uncomfortable. I'm going to really break down, it's really your body speaking to you, and how we can start to listen to our body. And as we listen to our body, it can make sure we stay in alignment with our purpose. Because I firmly believe you don't have to find your purpose. I firmly believe your purpose is within you. So sometimes it can be a sort of finding, because you kind of move all the weeds around it so that you can align with it. So as a spiritual teacher, as I was going through, the uncertainty and, mask on, mask off, all these things, it was my daily meditation, daily prayer, daily yoga practice, and daily rituals that helped me feel safe, because I didn't know what was going on outside, and I didn't know, sometimes we couldn't even go outside. I was wondering if things were happening in the air. So my spiritual connection and connecting with God helps me feel safe. So once you've written it down, go ahead and share it in the chat. What makes you feel safe? Another thing that makes me feel safe is friends and family. So having someone that I can lean on, and someone that I can call, and maybe we can both feel scared together. So my friends and my family help me feel safe. And the last thing that helps me feel safe is my community. Being able to get online and talk to my community and Get Loved Up community, my Growth Day community, like community helps me feel safe. So I see some of y'all checking in community, your family, your friends, checking in with your truth. Yes. Beautiful. This is really important, especially when it comes to purpose, because if we get thrown off by a job loss or death in the family or anything like that, in order to come back to your purpose and living in your purpose, you have to reattach to your sense of safety. But if you're like, oh my goodness, this is happening, now I have the move, or oh my goodness, I don't even have toilet paper, whatever you're thinking, it can throw you off. And you're just thinking like, I need to feel safe. Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. You forget to live in alignment with your purpose. You might get angry, you might get upset. All those are natural emotions letting you know that you're not okay because you don't feel safe, right? So really grounding on remembering what makes you feel safe. So if you ever feel out of alignment, how do you get loved up? You go back to your root, and that's our first chakra, is your root chakra, and that's your sense of safety. And how the chakras work is actually build upon each other. We start with the root, and then we'll go to the sacral. And if you've coached with me before, I talk about the chakras a lot, and we go all the way up to the crown. And again, these are natural. Every single person has these energy centers in your body, and we can all use them so that we can know when we need support, when we need to get loved up a little bit more, when we need to pour into ourselves. Someone said they feel safe inside a hot yoga studio. Yes, that really does feel safe to me too. All right, so now we're going to go to the second chakra, which is your sacral chakra, and that's your sense of expression. So we feeling safe, and the next thing is feeling like you can express yourself, right? Because I truly believe in the world, if you look at nature, if you look at people, we're all meant to express ourselves fully in whatever. Some of us sing, some of us dance, some of us teach for a living, so whatever it is you do. But I find purpose through expression, right? How many of you find purpose through expression, or expressing makes you feel like your life has a purpose? Yeah, I see some hands. So think about expression right now. What is your favorite way to express? A lot of times when you feel like, I don't feel on purpose, once you ground down in your safety, if you start singing, dancing, wearing colors, painting, writing, you'll start to get loved up, right? By doing what you like to do, by expressing, and then it'll start to become clear what is rising to the top. Because I'm a multi-passionate person, as you almost know, and a lot of things make me excited. I love to express through writing. I love to express through speaking. I love to express through dancing. And at different times in my life, different ways of expression bring me joy, right? And so when I start doing a little bit of each of them, the one I like the most will take precedent. And the more that I do it, the better that I feel, the more in alignment that I feel. And if you think about it, when you start to express yourself, you're releasing tension, you're releasing anger, you're releasing all of these emotions that don't serve your highest and greatest good, and you feel more aligned with who you truly are and your purpose, again, that is always within you, right? So the next time you're feeling like, oh, I'm so down, I'm having a dark day, I don't feel great, look at your list today. And this is a list that we create today, you all. I want you to come back to this list every single time you're not feeling okay. And remember what makes you feel safe and secure. What makes you feel fully expressed, or what are your favorite ways to express? Beautiful. Mentoring others, creating new content, journaling. I love it. Okay, someone said coffee. I love it. I love it. I don't know about that one, but fair. Awesome. Okay, so let's keep going to the third chakra. And the third chakra is your solar plexus, or your center, right? A lot of times when you don't feel safe or we feel challenged, we start to get this gut feeling like something is not okay, right? And that's our gut, that's our solar plexus telling us we don't feel in control, we don't feel in our power, and it's giving us an alert, right? So right now, I want you to think about what makes you feel powerful. So I know for me, when I think about what makes me feel powerful, sometimes, like I said, thinking about what makes me feel unpowerful, it makes me feel powerful when I feel heard, right? A lot of times when I was younger, I felt very unheard. And so when someone acknowledges what I say, I feel powerful, I feel seen. And when I think about when I don't feel as powerful as when I'm speaking and I still don't feel like I'm heard or understood, what makes you feel powerful? Also, when I feel confident, I feel powerful. When I show up and I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm teaching. I've done my homework, so to speak. I feel in my power. I feel powerful. Awesome. Feeling satisfied, overcoming yourself, breaking through, clarity, intentionality, confidence, beautiful. Action makes you feel powerful, beautiful. So these are all great things. And as we go through, no right or wrong answers. It's all about you writing it down and creating a list you can come back to when you're not feeling powerful. Taking action also makes me feel powerful, especially with what's going on in the Ukraine, for instance, and you feel helpless and you feel like, oh, I feel powerless. I feel like there's nothing that I can do that's going to change. But then the way you can get in your power is looking at this list. Well, you get clarity, you do your homework and find out, well, what can I do to make a difference? And then once you start doing those things, you automatically feel what? You feel powerful, you feel on purpose, you feel aligned. Right? So it's all about asking yourself, how do I feel powerful? And then drawing that back. Okay, I feel powerful when I take action, whatever it is, whether it be towards a goal or towards just helping someone down the street. You know, I felt good when I just made a donation. Then I felt even better when I shared it with my community. I felt even better when I wrote a newsletter. And the more I took action, the better I felt. And then I also felt heard because I was sharing my perspective and sharing my thoughts and ideas with others. So whatever makes you feel powerful is going to align you with your purpose, right? You're going to feel fully expressed, you feel safe, and you feel like even though you might not do what someone else is doing, or you might not be able to be there and help physically, you still feel empowered because you're doing something that's on your list of what it means to be powerful, and that aligns you with your purpose.
Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. And lean back, put your hips in it. Let's have some fun. To the left now. To the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Gon' roll your shoulders, do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part, cause it's time to shine. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. And lean back, put your hips in it. It's simple, you can do it. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Now cool down, have a good time. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Do the butterfly, have a good time. Round, round, round and round you go. It's time to show out right now and take to the floor. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now. Don't throw down, take a sip with it and lean back, put your hips in it. Take it down now, take it down now. Take it down now, take it down now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Take it down and crisscross. Bring it up now, crisscross. Do whatever you like right here. Just have fun. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. And lean back, put your hips in it. That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. And lean back, put your hips in it.
He's waiting. Oh, easy. And they're going.
Morning, guys. Today, Les Brown shares with us his rule number 1 for top 10 rules for success, and that is a big one. It is believe in yourself. This one is everything for all of us. He reminds us that every day it's a selling job. It's a selling job on you selling yourself about what you can do. It is the daily grind of going into your thoughts, and every time there's a negative thought, replacing it with that positive thought about you. So you're in the business of selling yourself, selling the job that you can do on you, on your greater you. So no matter what you feel, yeah, you're going to have defeats. You're going to have these negative thoughts that come at you. You're going to have failures. But every day you have to continue to go back at it again. Stand up within yourself and say, I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm going to keep going until I get to where I want to be. It's that belief in yourself that activates the full power of our mind to be our great self. Have a great day, everyone.
These top 10 principles that I have put together here for this program, the first of these principles came from a Vedantic scholar in the 10th century. His name was Tilopa. And this first principle says, as Tilopa put it, have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. One of the central principles of my life is that no one knows enough to be a pessimist about anything. And that each and every one of us, when we close our mind to what is possible for us or what is possible for humanity, closes off the genius that resides and lives in each and every one of us. Having an open mind doesn't necessarily mean finding fault with all of the things that you've been taught by others. It means opening yourself up to the potentiality and the possibility that anything and everything is possible. So having a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing really means finding within ourselves the ability to get rid of a trait that I find so common in the contemporary world. Do you know that most people that I meet spend their lives looking for occasions to be offended? They actually are out there hoping that they can find some reason to be offended. And there's no shortage of reasons. They're out there everywhere. The way this person dressed, what this person said, they turn on their TV, they hear the news, they're offended by this. Someone used language that they didn't like. Someone doesn't share the same customs that you. And all day long, in fact, if you keep track tomorrow, you will find probably 100 reasons that you can go around being offended. But a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing is a mind that says, I'm never looking for anything to be offended by. And that whatever anybody else out there has to say, my response to that is, that's an interesting point of view. I've never considered that before.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I struggled to stay afloat. I quit my business partner, and the thing that kept me going was studying the stories of famous entrepreneurs and seeing how they struggled and seeing what they had to overcome and listening to their wisdom, motivation, gave me the courage, the strength, the belief to go one more day and see my business through. And in all honesty, I still need the inspiration, wisdom, motivation today for my business too. So today, let's live your best believe life and get some incredible motivation from the one and only Wayne Dyer. Enjoy.
I remember being interviewed for a morning television show, and the woman that was interviewing me said, how does it feel to be talking to audiences where people have all of these strange beliefs, these weird things that they come to? And it intrigues me because one of the things that Emerson said is in one of his very first essays. He says the first thing we have to say respecting what are called new views here in New England, where we are right now, is that they are not new, but the very oldest of thoughts cast into the mold of these new times. And that was in 1842. He was speaking about that. And this woman asked me the question. She said, doesn't it offend you that there's people out there and they're talking about people using crystals to heal somebody? And I remember my response. My response was that if I've got hemorrhoids and somebody out there is convincing me that crystals are going to heal them, I'm ordering crystal chairs. Why not? I mean, all you have to do is understand something called a placebo. And what is a placebo? It's nothing more than a convincing belief. If I hand you this pill and say this pill is going to cure your arthritis, and you take it and the pill is just a sugar pill, but your arthritis disappears, I'm into buying those placebos. Where can I get some of those placebos? And it's true of everything. And it's when you think about all the things that we enjoy and what our life is like, it took people who had a mind that wasn't closed to allow us to make the progress that we've made. Progress is impossible if you always do things the way you've always done things. But the other word in this, what Talopa said, is be attached nowhere. Be attached nowhere. Attachment really means I am deluding myself into a belief that if I can't have or if I can't do this or that thing, then somehow I'm going to become immobilized. So an open mind that is detached. In my most recent book, in A Spiritual Solution to Every Problem, I have an observation. And it's an observation from Anthony DeMello, a man I respect enormously, a priest, who, in The Way to Love, puts it this way. Here's a great test for your relationships, especially the relationships that you're in with those whom you love, not your children, but your spouses and your lovers and so on. Try this test on for size. 1, I am not really attached to you at all. I am merely deluding myself into the belief that without you, I will not be happy. And 2, and here's the toughest test for non-attachment, I leave you free to be yourself, to think your thoughts, indulge your tastes, follow your inclinations, behave in ways that you decide are to your liking. How's that for a challenge? And so what most of us do in our relationships and why they are not as successful as we would like them to be is that we become attached and we tell ourselves that if this person behaves in a way that I find offensive, then I can't be happy. I make my happiness, my fulfillment dependent upon those people that I love being what I think that they should be. And detachment doesn't mean being a victim. It just simply means I know that I can make my life fulfilled and happy by having a mind that is open to everything and attached nowhere. The second principle is a very simple principle. It says you can't give away what you don't have. Now it sounds ridiculous, okay? But it's more than what meets the ear as you hear this. You can't give away what you don't have. People who are not good at giving away love can't give away love because they don't have it to give away. If I want to give you a dozen oranges, I can't give you those dozen oranges unless I go out and pick up 12 oranges someplace. Otherwise, all it is just empty rhetoric. And the same thing is true of virtually everything in your life. You can't give away love for others if you don't have love in here to give away. If what you have in here is contempt, if what you have in here is anger, if what you have in here is fear, then these are the things you're going to be giving away in your life. And I've often thought, and I really believe very strongly that there's a law, sort of a law in the universe. I call it the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is one that works like this. You get back from the universe, from the world, what it is that you put out there in the world. And if you're putting out there into the world that I am not worthy of attracting something beautiful into my life, that the universe will respond back to you with exactly that message. And there are people who come to me and who came to me for years when I had my own counseling practice and so on, and they would say to me, I just keep attracting the same kind of people, the same kind of events, the same kind of losers into my life. Why is that? Why do I keep doing that? And I keep attracting an absence of abundance. I just can't seem to attract abundance into my life. I'm always behind the 8 ball. I'm never getting ahead. And I suggested to them, I said, did it ever occur to you that that's the very kind of message you're sending out to the world and out to the universe? That the ocean of abundance is there. And you can go to that ocean of abundance and you can take a Mack truck and you can fill it up 20 times a day and take it out of there, and guess what? It doesn't impact at all the ocean of abundance. It doesn't even go down a zillionth of an inch. It's unlimited. Or you can go to the same ocean of abundance with a eyedropper, and you can just take this much out once a month and say, that's all that seems to be available for me. And the interesting thing for me is that when people go to this ocean of abundance, this unlimited world, all that I have is thine, it says in the holy books. All that I have is thine. It's all there for you. But if you believe inside that it's limited, that you can only get so much, that other people are going to get it before you do, then you'll find yourself creating that very same thing. And the even more interesting part about this, you can't give away what you don't have principle, is that if your message to the universe is gimme, 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 which is a lot of people's message to the universe. I want this from you, I want that from you, please give me this, I have to have that. That's what their prayer is like, that's what their message is, and they say, I want this from the universe, gimme, gimme, gimme. The universe's response back to that kind of a mentality is exactly the same. The universe will say right back to you over and over again, gimme, gimme, gimme. And you'll find yourself never, ever arriving, but always being in a state of striving, always feeling as if you're being neglected, never feeling as if you have enough, always feeling as if you're being shortchanged, because you're constantly under the pressure to give, to get back what the universe is demanding from you. And the interesting thing about all of this, the irony of this, is that if you shift that and you say to the universe, to the world, how may I serve? How may I serve? The universe's response back to you is, how may I serve you? How may I serve you? And it's very intriguing. When you take your energy and your attention off of what you are demanding from the world, and instead saying, what can I give to the world? And it's really the basis behind that very famous line of the President John Kennedy's inaugural address. Ask not what your country can do, ask what you can do for your country. And the irony of that is, and I've learned that in my own life, that when I stopped thinking about what was in it for Wayne Dyer and how much could I get, and I began to shift and say, how can I help you? How can I give to you? What can I do for you? And people who write to me, I send them something. When I encounter somebody that needs help of some kind, I'm very often just giving that to them. And then I find that it just keeps coming back into my life. And once I shifted that energy off of what can I have into what can I give, it seemed to me that the universe responded back with the very same message. What can I give to you? And the most incredible and wonderful and beautiful abundance has flowed into my life in every way that I can possibly think of. You can't give away what you don't have. So take a look at an inventory of what you do have. How much do you love yourself? How much kindness do you have in you? How much peace do you have in you? How much joy do you have in you? And if you're able to give that away as many times as you can in a given day, watch and see how much more of that continues to show up and come back in your life. Okay? The third principle is one of my very favorites. It's called, there are no justified resentments. And this is a very difficult principle for many people to get, but one that I believe very strongly in. I was in a group one time of drug addicts and alcoholics. And I was one of the people that was a sponsor and leading this group. And the sign on the wall said, "There are no justified resentments in this group." And what I said to that group that night was, no matter what anybody says to you here, no matter what kind of anger comes directed towards you, no matter how much hate you may encounter showing up in your life, there are no justified resentments. Meaning that if you carry around resentment inside of you about anything or about anyone, and I'm talking about the person that you lent money to and hasn't paid you back, I'm talking about the person in your life that you feel was abusive in your life, I'm talking about the person who walked out on you and left you for somebody else, I'm talking about all of the things that you have justified in your heart and in your life that you have the right to be resentful about. And I'm suggesting to you that those resentments will always end up harming you and creating in you a sense of despair. I've often said that no one ever dies from a snake bite. The snake bite will never kill you. You cannot be unbitten. Once you're bitten, you're bitten. But it's the venom that continues to pour through your system after the bite that will end up destroying you. So now you have to take a look at all of the resentments that you may have in your life. And I'd like to suggest to you that I think there is a wonderful metaphor for this that I have created in my life for how to make this work. And I think that Regis Philbin is the one who's responsible for it, all right? My buddy Regis. There's a show called Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that has been popular all over the world. I'm in South Africa, it comes on, all right? I was in Australia, and they've got their own Australian version. And in Greece, they have the Greek edition of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And basically, this show has two levels that you have to get to. Now, the first level is the $1,000 level. And at the $1,000 level, you basically have to answer a question like, on your hand, you have some digits. Those digits on your hand are called your feet, your nose, your ears, your fingers. And everybody who ever goes on the show has this horrible dread that they're going to go out on one of those questions, right? So basically, in order to get to the $1,000 level, all you have to do is answer 5 pretty simple questions in order to get to the $1,000 level. Now, on this program, the $1,000 level for you in this metaphor means that you will leave with something if you get this. At least get this. This is the $1,000 level. You must send blame out of your life for any conditions of your life. Blame has to go. All right? Now, blame means if you're sitting there with a disease, you say without guilt, it's mine, I take responsibility for it. This means that if you have been through any tough circumstances in your life, this means if you have a minimal amount of financial security in your life, this means if your children don't get along with you, this means that if your neighbors are taking up a petition to get you out of the neighborhood, whatever it might be that's going on in your life, you name it, and everybody across this great country and across this world has a series of these things that you're willing to say, I am here because of the choices that I have made right now. I'm willing to say that. Even though it's difficult, and we know it's really not your fault. We know really there's a lot of people out there who are really bad, all right? But you're willing to say no blame. That's the first level, all right? That's where you understand no justified resentment. And then on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show, there is what is called the $32,000 level. And the $32,000 level is not only an opportunity for you to walk away with a sizable amount of goodies, which you can walk away from tonight in this program, but it also is the door opener to multi-wealth. But you got to get to this in order to have an opportunity to move into these transcendent levels, all right? Millionaire spiritual status, all right? You got to get through these next 5 questions. And this $32,000 question, or level rather, comes to this. It came to me from a quotation that I used in the writing of a spiritual solution to every problem. I read a book that was written a couple of thousand years ago by Patanjali, the Yoga Sutras, the aphorisms of Patanjali. And one of those sutras, one of those aphorisms, observations that this brilliant man made almost 2,000 years ago was this. He said, if you become steadfast in your abstentions of thoughts of harm directed towards others, all living creatures will cease to feel enmity in your presence. Now this translates to blame, pretty basic, no more blame. I'm just not going to assign responsibility to other people for where I am, because now I have an opportunity to get rid of it. If I think someone else caused it, then I've got to wait for somebody else to change in order for me to get rid of it, and you might wait forever for that. But if I take responsibility for it, I can do something, including move on, which might be the most important thing to do. All right? But at the higher level, when there are no justified resentments, what you are doing is what St. Francis did, Francesco. What you are doing is you are at a place where you are sending love in response to hate. You are literally saying, no matter what comes my way, I am going to be steadfast in my abstention of thoughts of harm directed toward others. I'm going to work hard at, no matter what comes my way, having it come out of me what I want to come out of me, and that is love, and that is a higher energy. And if you can get to that level, Patanjali said, all living creatures will cease to feel enmity in your presence. I have a little girl, a precious little girl. I have 6 precious girls and 2 precious sons, but I have a little girl who is almost 12. And she loves animals like no one I've ever met in my life. I mean, her whole life revolves around animals. And when we walk in the woods, butterflies avoid me, fly away from people around, and they come and they land right on her arm, and it happens all the time. All living creatures, she couldn't have a thought of harm directed towards any living creature. And Patanjali said to us, all living creatures will cease to feel fear or enmity or anger in the presence of those who can send love in response to hate. That's what I mean when I say there are no justified resentments. What I'd like to do, I'd like to share a little story here with you. It's a very tender story. It was sent to me by someone who sends me beautiful things in the mail. And I call it the Teddy story. And I'd like to read this to you, if I can do it without tearing up. And this story illustrates this as well as anything I've ever seen. There's a story many years ago of an elementary school teacher. Her name was Mrs. Thompson. As she stood in front of her 5th grade class on the very first day of school, she told the children a lie. Like most teachers, she looked at her students and said that she loved them all the same. But that was impossible, because there in the front row, slumped in his seat, was a little boy named Teddy Stoddard. Mrs. Thompson had watched Teddy the year before and noticed that he didn't play well with the other children, that his clothes were messy, and that he constantly needed a bath. Teddy could be unpleasant. It got to the point where Mrs. Thompson would actually take delight in marking his papers with a broad red pen and making bold X's and then putting a big F at the top of his papers. At the school where Mrs. Thompson taught, she was required to review each child's past records, and she put Teddy's off until last. However, when she reviewed his file, she was in for a surprise. Teddy's first grade teacher wrote, "Teddy is a bright child with a ready laugh. He does his work neatly and he has good manners. He's a joy to be around." His second grade teacher wrote, "Teddy's an excellent student, well liked by his classmates, but he's troubled because his mother has a terminal illness and life at home must be a struggle." His third grade teacher wrote, "His mother's death has been hard on him. He tries to do his best, but his father doesn't show much interest and his home life will soon affect him if steps aren't taken." Teddy's fourth grade teacher wrote, "Teddy's withdrawn and doesn't show up much interest in school. He doesn't have many friends and sometimes he even sleeps in class." By now, Mrs. Thompson realized the problem and she was ashamed of herself. She felt even worse when her students brought her Christmas presents wrapped in beautiful ribbons and bright paper, except for Teddy's. His present was clumsily wrapped in heavy brown paper that he got from the grocery bag. Mrs. Thompson took pains to open it in the middle of the other presents. Some of the children started to laugh when she found a rhinestone bracelet with some of the stones missing and a bottle that was 1/4 full of perfume. But she stifled her children's laughter when she exclaimed how pretty the bracelet was, putting it on and dabbing some of the perfume on her wrist. Teddy Stoddard stayed after school that day just long enough to say, "Mrs. Thompson, today you smell just like my mom used to." After the children left, she cried for at least an hour. On the very day, she quit teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, and instead, she began to teach children. Mrs. Thompson paid particular attention to Teddy. As she worked with him and his mind seemed to come alive, the more she encouraged him, the faster he responded. By the end of the year, Teddy had become one of the smartest children in the class, and despite her lie, became one of her teacher's pets. A year later, she found a note under the door from Teddy telling her that she was still the best teacher he ever had in his whole life. 6 years went by before she got another note from Teddy. He then wrote that he had finished high school third in his class, and she was still the best teacher he ever had in his whole life. 4 years after that, she got another letter saying that while things had been tough at times, he stayed in school and stuck with it and would soon graduate from college with the highest of honors. He assured Mrs. Thompson that she was still the very best and favorite teacher he ever had in his whole life. Then 4 more years passed and yet another letter came. This time he explained that after he got his bachelor's degree, he decided to go a little further. The letter explained that she was still the best and favorite teacher he ever had, but now his name was a little longer. The letter was signed Theodore F. Stoddard, M.D. But the story doesn't end there. You see, there was yet another letter that spring. Teddy said he'd met this girl and was going to be married. He explained that his father had died a couple of years ago, and he was wondering if Mrs. Thompson might agree to sit in the place at the wedding that was usually reserved for the mother of the groom. Of course, Mrs. Thompson did, and guess what? She wore that bracelet, the one with several rhinestones missing. And she made sure she was wearing the perfume that Teddy remembered his mother wearing on their last Christmas together. They hugged each other, and Dr. Stoddard whispered in Mrs. Thompson's ear, "Thank you so much for making me feel important and showing me that I could make a difference." Mrs. Thompson came with tears in her eyes and whispered back, "Teddy, you have it all wrong. You were the one who taught me that I could make a difference. I didn't know how to teach until I met you." Isn't that a beautiful story? Yeah. That symbolizes there are no justified resentments. Work at reaching that $32,000 level, the place where the only thing you have to send is love, because that's what's inside. And that's the message of our greatest spiritual teachers. That's all they ever had to give away. The next principle I call "Don't die with your music still in you." And who better to quote than Thoreau right here in Concord when he talked about some of us hear a different drummer, and we must march to the music that we hear. But all of you, everybody watching, everybody here in this beautiful parish, all of you have some music playing. And all of you have a heroic mission. There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it. And too many of us are afraid to listen to that music and march to it. You out there, I know you have a book you wanted to write. I know there's a composition you wanted to compose. I know there's a song you want to sing someplace. Maybe you want to raise horses out in Montana. Or maybe you want to open up an ice cream shop on Cape Cod. Who knows what it may be? Maybe you just want to travel and see the world. Maybe you want to go into a relationship with someone, but you've been afraid to, but your heart says it's the right thing to do. All of us feel something. And in Leo Tolstoy's famous novel, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, he asks this question that would be terrifying to me. He says, as he has his accountant from Moscow lying on his deathbed, contemplating the horror of this question, what if my whole life has been wrong? I've known what my music is. It's playing right now. As I stand here in front of you with these cameras and in this place, and as I sit down and write my books and tell the world what I know are my truths, I feel always completely on purpose and fulfilled.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Now, can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder. Cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. My life is a movie, but riding them. Cowboy hat from Gucci, Wrangler on my. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Hat down, cross town, living like a rock star. Spend a lot of money on my brand new guitar. Baby's got a habit, diamond rings and Fendi sports bras. Riding down Rodeo in my Maserati sports car. Got no stress, I've been through all that. I'm like a Marlboro man, so I keep going back. Wish I could roll on back to that old town road. I wanna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
For the kill is Bojan, the third before half time to Messi. Oh. Bojan.
Morning, guys. I want to share with you a personal story that will highlight how amazing this path is to infinite mind wealth that we're on together, and I'm openly sharing with you. And the story I want to share was a couple of weeks ago. I was having a moment where I was feeling really inspirational, really sort of proud of the things I'm doing, and just kind of breaking down my own walls of self-limiting beliefs. and doing some of the things that I never thought I would do, especially in the year 2018. And then I actually got to a point where I realized I almost got angry at myself because I thought, what's been going on all these years that have prevented me from doing the things I'm doing now? And then I started sort of laughing inwardly to myself. I thought, it's all about getting out of our comfort zone. So then I thought, what else is there that I thought I couldn't do that I can do? And I challenge you to remember this too. What are we really stopping ourselves from doing? Have a great day, everyone.
When to buy something stupid. Because there's going to come a time in life, Jay-Z just bought a $200 million house. Dude, he can do whatever he wants to do. He's worth $2.5 billion, okay? I don't know that it was the smartest thing to do, but he can do it. When do you do something stupid? You just got a contract for $50 million as an athlete. When do you do something stupid? It ain't now. I guarantee you, just because you got a score doesn't mean you should go start buying houses and cars and bullshit, okay? This is when you should do something stupid, okay? How stupid can you go? Number one most important thing, when you do something stupid, you need to be able to pay cash. Not that you will pay cash, but you need to be in a position to pay cash for that thing. If you cannot pay cash, let's say I just got a contract for $12 million as an athlete. I got a movie deal. I got advanced $4 million, okay? And they're gonna pay me the other $4 million when the movie finishes. So if you don't have your cash yet, you ain't gonna do it yet because you ain't got cash. If you can't pay for it in cash, don't do it. Doesn't mean you will pay for it in cash. It means you have enough cash to do it.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need it. I need it for me because I don't wake up every day and say, yes, let's go conquer the world. No, I wake up and I need that external motivation to match my internal motivation. When I see somebody who's doing amazing things, it makes me just want to play a bigger game. And so I hope that today's video makes you want to play a bigger game too, because your message matters, and let's get it out to the world. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Grant Cardone, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
Number two, you need to have twice the amount of cash, or you need to buy two of them, be able to buy two of them, not that you would, but this will give you the assurance that you're not keeping things too tight. So let's say I find a watch I want to buy. The watch is 50 grand. I have to say I could pay cash for the watch, and I need to be able to buy two of them in order to say it's cool to do it. That will tell me that I'm ready. The third thing, the third filter here is this money, these number one and number two, cash, and twice, has to come from passive income. This is going to eliminate probably 10x, okay, the purchases that you make, because most people simply do not have passive income. So if you're a ball player and they said, hey, we're going to give you $50 million, you don't start buying houses. My mama wants a house. Good. Can you buy her two of them? The house is $2 million. You got a $50 million contract. That's earned income. Watch this. My mama wants a house that's $2 million. Okay, can you buy two of them? Yeah, you can. Check, check. But here's the deal. It's not passive income. You're not ready to do this yet. Ooh, this is hard, man. Why are you showing me this, Grant? Why are you waking me up to this? Because I'm trying to tell you how to create wealth and never be broke.
Rule number two is invest in properties.
I want to share with you the 5 benefits of real estate over stocks and bonds. Number one, and you cannot deny this, tangible asset. Real estate is a physical, very often very difficult to replace asset. It offers a sense of security and the potential for appreciation over long periods of time. Unlike stocks, pieces of paper, and bonds, or even cash, savings accounts or money markets, real estate is a tangible asset as opposed to intangible. Real estate investments give you, the investor, direct control over a real asset. Number two, cash flow. There is no asset, gold, silver, Bitcoin, bonds, or stocks that cash flow like real estate. Real estate investments typically provide a consistent and even monthly passive income for the passive investor from rental income, which offers you a regular source of cash flow for your investors. And by the way, cash flow is what your family depends on. Okay, whether you're working or not, you need cash flow. Number three, diversification. Real estate investments offer a great diversification from traditional stocks and bonds and potentially reduces somebody's overall portfolio risk. In fact, I'm so bullish on real estate going forward that I actually have more of my diversification across my asset classes because of the number of doors and different properties that I own in different states. That's right, you can actually take real estate and have diversification because of location and scale. Number 4, inflation hedge. For thousands of years, real estate has proved to be a great hedge against inflation that we're in right now, meaning real estate generally maintains or increases their value over time beyond the cost of living rises. Number 5, in the Mac Daddy, okay? Now, I wouldn't do this without the other 4, but tax benefits of real estate are like none other. There is no comparison anywhere in the world. Real estate offers the best tax advantages, deductions for mortgage interest, property taxes, rehab, CapEx, like it is endless, including accelerated depreciation, which has literally wiped out in many years my income tax bill to 0. Look, it's worth noting that every investment, as you know, has some kind of risk. But if you want the biscuit, you got to risk it. And the best risk for me is to never lose my money, to get cash flow, to get appreciation, to get leverage, and to get the tax write-offs. And there ain't but one thing that sounds like that, and it's called real estate. Get invested today. As they say, don't wait and invest in real estate. Buy real estate and wait.
Rule number 3 is protect your finances.
In the beginning, if you just go back to February, March this year, I would tell my whole team, I said, guys, we're getting ready to go into one of the hardest, deepest, ugliest, nastiest recessions I've ever experienced in my 60 years. And everybody's like, oh my God, here he goes. You know, I'm like, no, I'm telling you, I'm not a silver, gold, Bitcoin's going to go away. World's going to end. The world never ends. Yeah. This is the most painful thing, you know, that I've learned in 4 recessions is that you always survive them. But that's the bad news. You know, you'll get through it. You will get through it. But most people, unfortunately, are going to be a statistic because of it. And the big problem is most people move too slowly to accept what's going on. So in the beginning, they lied to us. They redefined the word recession. They also did that with the vaccine. They're going to redefine what the economy is by the time they've redefined unemployment numbers. Those are probably at 10% today. They report 3%. They're lying about inflation today. We're already past the inflation bubble problem. We're probably in deflation now, not inflation. And the issue is not if they're going to lie, if they've lied to us, is how many times did they lie to you? And the way to find that out is to simply ask yourself, is your family doing better or not? 64% of all small businesses in America, there's 32 million of them, break even or lose money. 70%, somewhere between 68 and 76% of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And half of all people that make $100,000 a year in this country live paycheck to paycheck. So those things tell me you cannot have 330 million people in an educated, developed nation where information is available to everyone. You can't have that many stupid people in one place. Okay. That means to me, Americans are not lazy. Americans are not stupid. We're not, we have data, dude. Most of us have computers and phones. So why are so many people suffering? It's because we have been indoctrinated to benefit Wall Street and the banks. And it's time that people say, okay, and it's happening right now. People are starting to wake up. Social media is actually waking the world up. I think what's going on in the last 3 or 4 years since COVID and the election, COVID, us sending $200 billion to Ukraine, like people are starting to wake up and say, wait a minute, something's going on. And I don't know if it's in my best interest. So we're going to go into a very difficult recession. We're in one already. They'll tell us later that we were. And businesses are going to go out of business. Households are going to find out that they don't have the money. They don't have enough savings. They don't have enough investments. They're going to find out their cash is worthless. They're going to have to struggle this year in 2023 with even maintaining their business or growing it. But there's silver lining here, okay? Silver lining is during recessions is when people can actually grow if they have the strategies. Yep. Because there's fewer people to participate and compete with. So there's the bad news, man. The good news is I'm going to grow. There's 3 great pivots I've had in my career, and they all came on the tail of a recession.
Rule number 4 is study real estate.
Warren Buffett recently said the reason they don't buy real estate is because real estate for most of time, for hundreds of years in America, real estate is properly valued. And he looks for assets that are not properly valued.
Stressed or something.
They're stressed, they're problematic. And he says the reason real estate, they have not been able to accumulate real estate at Berkshire is because there's only one thing that causes real estate to be incorrectly valued. And that one thing is financial problems.
Crisis.
A crisis, a debt crisis, or banking crisis. It happened in 1996. That's when I started buying real estate. It happened again in 2008. I bought a bunch of real estate, and it's going to happen right now. So we have a correction that is completely underway, and it's happening right now. 2, the second reason you want to be in real estate is because it's time tested. Okay? It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. Real estate is valuable or more valuable than gold. The reason I like real estate more than gold or silver or hard products or commodities is because it provides me with cash flow, not just a real product. Okay? 3, it builds net worth. You know this about your home. Your personal home can build net worth, okay? Your parents bought a house for $28,000 30 years ago. House is worth $400,000 or $500,000 a day and it's paid for. That builds net worth. Number 4, major reason that you want to do this is the tax benefits, okay? Most of you don't understand the tax benefits. Taxes represent 40% of all your expenses, at least. Some of you guys that live in Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, California, dude, your tax bill is in the 60%. You don't even know it. Employment taxes, Social Security benefits, property taxes, sales taxes, car taxes. God dang it.
Every tax on
okay,
everything.
number 5, passive income. Okay, passive income. Now, Bitcoin does not offer passive income. Stocks do not offer passive income. 5-year treasury bills don't offer passive income. Cash at the bank doesn't offer passive income. Work does not offer a passive income. You need passive income. Warren Buffett said, if you don't learn how to make money while you sleep, you will spend your entire life working for money you can't keep. Did y'all know the whole saying right there? That's what it is. Number 6, okay? Number 6, inflation hedge. And we are about to go through, some people believe that we're going to go into hyperinflation in this country because we keep printing money. It's probably 5 to 10 years from now. But if we go into hyperinflation, if you've ever lived in countries like Venezuela, Argentina, go to Greece. Look at what happened in Greece 15 years ago. Dude, they were literally burning their money in the streets, okay? They were literally using it for firewood.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is never over leverage.
Focus on our breathing. Back straight, eyes closed, legs crossed. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel that power that you're using to control your breathing. Your connection to oneness, to what we all really are, to the truth. the ultimate truth. That you were born to win control over your mind. That when we all do that, we find out the truth of who we all really are. Infinitely intelligent beings, powerful beyond measure, with the power of all knowing right here, right now, this moment. You're already made of all knowing of the universe. You're made of that same stuff. With that, you can always have and be your true, peaceful, happy, kind, loving self.